All right, welcome everybody. It's Sunday night at 7 o'clock, and you know what that means. It's time for another 76 Capital Leadership Series show. And tonight we have a really special guest. We have Lauren Foundos, who is the CEO of FORTÄ and a new member of the 76 Capital family as we just announced our investment in her company. Lauren, welcome.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me, and pumped to be working with you guys.
It's really exciting. It's really exciting to have you on our show. And what we do here on our 76 Capital Leadership Series is, you know, we talk about what it really takes to be a leader. What is it all about to be an entrepreneur? You know, someone like you who, you know, started this company a few years ago and are now, you know, one of the leading companies in the fitness industry. And we're really excited to, as I said earlier, as be an investor with you, partner with you, help you. And, you know, my partner, Chad Stender, will be sitting on your board, and he's super excited about that. And I know that I've got a number of things I really can't wait to talk about. And we are live tonight, not only on Twitter, but we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. So as a former athlete, don't get nervous. You got this.
I got the pregame jitters right now. I got to shake it off.
No, this is great. It's going to be a lot of fun, and then most importantly, you know, we're fellow Terps. You know, I'm a Maryland Terp for you. So this is exciting. And you know, look, I want to start off by saying, like, no pressure or anything, but you know, my other two CEOs that I've invested in that were Maryland Terps, we've had some pretty great success so far.
All right, I like it. I like a little competition, so bring it on.
So the first one was Jason Finger, who was the CEO of Seamless Web.
Okay.
We ended up, you know, selling to Aramark, and then Aramark, you know, went out and merged that with Grubhub, and now it's public as Grubhub. So that was a pretty good one. And then the other one is Steve Krein, the CEO of Startup Health, and they're one of the biggest health tech companies in the world today. Not in the country, but in the world. So you got it. You just follow.
I'm going to be your fitness unicorn right here.
I love it. So well, let's talk about your background. It's one of the things we love to do on our 76 Capital Leadership Series is really to hear from you. And, you know, let's start from the beginning. You know, where did you grow up, and how did you get here?
Yeah, I grew up in Long Island. My parents are both Albanian, and so FORTÄ actually means strong in Albanian. So when I was naming the company, I was just trying to get through the paperwork. I was like, you know, if I think about the name before I build anything, it's not going to matter anyway. So kind of just named it that. I played field hockey growing up. It was actually, my parents really encouraged me to focus a lot on school, but I love to play sports. I never did really any extra like weekend activities, but I would just play in school, and I started to get really, really good. And I would say, Dad, I think I'm really good at this. He's like, it's a big country. I was like, in the whole country, I'm literally all American. Like, I'm really good at this sport. And so ultimately, I ended up playing field hockey at the University of Maryland, which under the reign of Missy Mahard, who is you know, it's a dynasty there. They're always in the top team. So that was super exciting to play for the best of the best and play at that level. And then I went to work on Wall Street. I have two older
before you leave Maryland, I mean, I got to ask you this. I mean, so you're at Maryland, right? And you're playing, and here's a great picture of you at Maryland. I mean, I just, what was it like playing for Missy? Because I think I mentioned this to you. You know, Missy and I are both from Delaware originally. And, you know, it was so great, you know, being, you know, knowing that in the program itself that she has built was one of the best in the country.
Yep. It was, I mean, it was intense. It was definitely, people are like, you must have had so much fun at Maryland. Like, you know, we worked all day, every day, lifted, ran, you know, practiced hours and hours a day. It was definitely super, super intense. I think I learned a lot from that experience, you know, to play for the best team and to do everything that militantly, to pick up every ball, play every practice like it was a national championship. I mean, to have that type of, you know, when you're 18 years old, you go to college, everyone else is joining a sorority, and we're there, you know, lifting 6 hours a day. And, you know, so it was so intense, and you're trying to figure out how to go to school. And so it was definitely, you know, it was such a unique experience, and to play for a team of that level where it was literally all the All-Americans in the United States and all the national team captains from around the world. So it was just like this incredible experience of, you were the best and then you got there and everybody was just as good. And it was literally the best people that you could assemble together. So that was certainly, really competitive and exciting and really pushed you to kind of work to that different level. I think just being an athlete in general, you learn how to lose, you learn how to play and be a part of a team, and just to, that work all day, every day. And that's what I feel like as a founder, like every day and night till my contacts are fusing to my eyes, I'm typing on my laptop. And that's how this works. It's not that easy. And neither is playing at that level and competing, for a team like that either.
Well, and I remember at Maryland, the field hockey field was right next to the baseball field and the football field. It was like right in that same, where the practice fields were right next to each other, right?
Yep. We used to lift we would always want to lift like the lacrosse girls. They'd be doing like tiny dumbbells and we'd be doing the same thing as the football guys. Like our bodies were, I'm like, what are we doing here? It was so intense. You go from high school where you don't do anything like that. And all of a sudden you're training like a pro athlete. I mean, it was so intense. And you're benching, the freshmen are barely able to do anything. And the other girls are doing like 150 and you're just like, how does this happen? But by the end of it, obviously, you get into it. But it was, playing for Missy was one of the best things ever. She is so intense. And when you graduate, she's like the most amazing person ever. When you play for her, it's serious stuff.
And so at Maryland, you just like in high school, you were an All-American, and then in Maryland, you were also a national champion, right?
Yeah, the last 2 years, I actually stopped playing my final year because I wanted to work in finance, and to do that, I needed to intern at the bank, and it kind of conflicted with the all the practicing that we had. And so the last year, unfortunately, I wanted to then start a career in finance. Most of my team has actually went to play on the Olympics, all coached now today. So that was amazing. But I have a real strict dad, and he insisted that I focus on that. So I'm very grateful for that. Obviously, it gave me the opportunity to be able to get here to start this company. But so the last years, actually, they won then. But the years before that, we were in the Final Four every single year. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. Yep. But then, so after Maryland, what you didn't go into fitness right away. What happened next?
Yeah, no. So I went to work on Wall Street. I wanted to, probably because my brothers did. I just you don't know what you want to do. I'm like, they do that. Seemed like a good idea. So I started working in finance. I worked at a hedge fund, then I worked at Deutsche Bank, and then I worked trading institutionally government bonds for the last couple of years. And I loved my job. I thought it was amazing. It was so intense. It was kind of like all the guys were athletes. It was sort of the same, like an extension of sort of my college sports life. I loved it. I never thought I was going to change my job. I was crushing it. I bought this great place here. I invested my money in high risk investments. I never thought I was going to change my job. And then all of a sudden I woke up, I decided I was going to quit and build this company. I live next to Peloton, so I started going there, and I was like, wow, this is a great idea, but nobody cares about this place. They, obviously they've spent $1 billion, so it's different today, but then there was nobody in there. They didn't have a community or a brand, or nobody knew what it was. I was like, this is a great idea, but we should give this technology to, a SoulCycle or some big brand in Orange Theory that everybody knows and loves, because people would care about them broadcasting. Nobody knows what this is. And so I started talking to the gyms that I got really into going to. And I actually started going to the gyms, so I would bring my clients from Wall Street to work out with me, because I thought I was going to die from going out every night and staying up so late and being at work so early. So I started going to workout studios with my customers, as entertainment, instead of going to a basketball game or to a steak dinner. And so I started talking to the studios that I was really close with and asking if they would want to stream their classes. And some of them were like, no, people are going to copy us, or it's going to cannibalize our business, things that were sort of not the right perspective. But some of them were like, yeah, let's do it. So every time I go back there, when are we starting this thing? I'm like, I have no idea how to build what I just described to you. I was like, stop asking me this. And the more I would go back, the more they would ask. And I was just sitting there at work. And I was like, I know this is happening, and I'm not going to tell a sad story that I invented this and I don't know any of the company, or that I told you so, but I did nothing about it. I was like, I know this is happening, and I just need to get going. So ultimately, it became really clear at work. I was just not paying attention. They're like, you bought 500 million 2-year notes. I'm like, I'm in a meeting. They're like, what for? I'm like, something is happening, and I don't know what, but I gotta go.
Well, this is amazing, and it's really great to have you, Lauren, on our 76 Capital Leadership Series. Once again, I'm Wayne Kimmel, managing partner at 76 Capital, and we are live tonight with the CEO of FORTÜ. And as we mentioned, we announced earlier this week, 76 Capital made an investment in Lauren's company earlier this week. And we are super excited to be partners with Lauren in this business. Have my partner Chad Stender go on the board of FORTÜ with Lauren and work so closely with her and her team. And Lauren has been describing her journey from growing up in Long Island to University of Maryland to going to Wall Street and coming up with this idea. And we're at this moment where you were just getting ready to share with us what happened next. So I'm excited to hear what's happening, how FORTÜ came to be.
For sure. So yeah, I decided to build a really heavy tech company. I'm not an engineer, so that was the first challenge of it. I had envisioned all this technology and how it would work, but I went on my LinkedIn, I typed in tech. I'm like, I only know traders. I didn't know anybody in technology. I really figure out how to get this started. I was obviously just immersing myself in all this technology, reading everything I could. And the one thing I think is my secret weapon is that I am a user of the space. If you can't tell by these muscles, no, I'm just kidding. I work out every day. I go to all these places. I am such an avid user of the space. I feel like that's my secret weapon. I'm in the trenches every day. And so that was really the one thing that I knew. And obviously I have a business background, so I really had to figure out how to build the technology, build this great team to be able to figure that out. And, everything was such a learning curve. Every day I wake up and do something new. And I was telling Wayne earlier, I was cleaning upstairs and I was finding all these notes I took when I first started the company. And I was like, wow, I've really come a long way as a founder, the things that I didn't know. And now that seems so obvious. So definitely was an exciting journey. But when you're building, I'm so passionate about what I'm building that it's so exciting every day. Our users now write in and say that we've made their life better. And I'm like, Mom, nobody told me I made their life better when I worked on Wall Street. So that's been the most exciting thing, is that to build a company that actually makes people's lives better and makes them healthier. And I mean, what a reason to be, working. My own health may be deteriorating, but hopefully we're making thousands of other people's better.
That's amazing. I mean, tell everybody, just from the beginning, what is FORTÜ,
yep.
And what what are you trying to do right now, and as you build this business?
Yeah, so before we built anything, we had to develop this technology. So we spent over 2 years developing this proprietary technology that nobody has and can do the same thing that we can do. So basically, if you want to live broadcast your class, you can build a TV production studio like Peloton, or you can use Facebook, Instagram, and Zoom, right? That's the other end of the spectrum. So we really wanted to build this technology that enabled them to have a Peloton-like experience without having to do that. So what we do is we hardwire 3 to 5 cameras in a fitness facility's walls. We put a server there on site, and then that server operates as the producer. So let's say the class starts at 12. At 12 o'clock, it would turn on all 5 cameras, rotate around for that specific class at that time, and then shut itself off. So this automation that we've developed, we call the Autobot, it live streams all day, every day from coast to coast with no human operator. So we have no competition at all in that perspective. And so we're really excited. Obviously, today, everybody's looking to stream more so than ever, so we feel like we're positioned in a great place. We built 2 business models. One is a marketplace where we partner with top studios around the world, and then they stream to a marketplace where our subscribers monthly and annual have subscriptions. And then we've also launched a white label business. So basically enabling big brands to be able to leverage our technology and have a branded app, because what we found was the biggest companies, they want to have their own thing. They don't want to be a part of a marketplace. So it became very clear for us to do that. We recently launched that. We're blowing our expectations out of the water. We're about to launch a huge partnership in 3 weeks that's almost as exciting as 76 Capital investing, if not more. That is going to rocket fuel and supercharge our expansion of the white label product. And obviously, we woke up 8 weeks ago and the world has dramatically changed. So what was happening, obviously the fitness industry was going this way. Peloton IPO'd at $8 billion. Every studio wants to be like them and stream, and that was amazing. The velocity was insane. But what's happening, obviously, with the current situation has, fast track what was going to happen in 2 to 3 years, basically overnight, because the gyms don't have a means to reaching their community, and we don't have anywhere to go. So this has certainly been gotten very little sleep since this whole situation happened, and the demand was already insane, and we couldn't even fulfill it. And now, obviously, it's really important more than ever that we can really help these gyms, you know, have this blended membership now, because they're going to be limited at capacity and stuff like that. So as the market continues to tank, we are one of those fortunate companies that is, you know, in a good position right now to be able to help a lot of people, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting, you know, once again, you know, I want to just reset because I see some new people just joined our stream, and I just want to, you know, let people know, you know, that you are listening to the CEO of FORTÄ, which is one of the most innovative technology companies in the fitness space, here on our 76 Capital Leadership Series. We're really excited to have Lauren on the show, and I think what you were just describing could be, maybe we could talk about it a little bit more about how you're talking about how you're able to empower some of the largest brands in fitness.
Yep.
And so maybe just breaking that down, like it was, so if you, you know, someone who goes to whether a soul cycle class or a cycling class or a bar class or a yoga class, explain like how that would work, and how FORTÄ works with different groups like that.
Yeah, so all these brands want to have a digital product now. So what they were doing, and the ones that were forward thinking, were basically creating on-demand videos. So they would shoot it with a camera crew and upload it to a website or an app. And then, you know, that's not that innovative, right? That the users would watch it and then they would get bored of it and then not watch it till they release content again. So they would start having to produce content every quarter, then every month. And then the user now has Netflix. They don't want basic cable. They want to watch, you know, new stuff every day. They have high demands. And so doing the video the way they were with this on-demand video where they were shooting it just wasn't cutting it anymore, right? And so now studios, obviously this has really changed it. They're trying to figure out how to communicate to their communities, right? So what they're doing is Zoom and all these other things. But what we do is really, Peloton's cameras are fixed on the wall. They don't move, they don't zoom, they're just rotating around. So what we've done is really develop this automation that we install the cameras that do the same thing. We work with the gyms then to figure out what they're going to do in those classes. We work with them to hear the trainers' voices so we can automate the decibels of their voice. So that way it's not like we know exactly what's going to happen in the spin class. They warm up for 3 minutes, they, you know, do the workout, and at 42 minutes they cool down. It's like we know exactly what it is. So we can automate all of this. We don't need producers, because most of these brands aren't going to raise $1 billion like Peloton, but they have 4 million members that they want to market a really high quality product to. And so that's what we've really set out to do. We're really excited. Some of these big gyms have, like I said, millions of members. They have mandatory sales goals of, you know, 10%. That would give us 300 to 500,000 members in one deal. Peloton IPO'd with 511,000 users. So we're really excited to be able to power some of these big guys. The magnitude of this is so large. You know, many of them have an on-demand product or no product at all. And they were like, this was the year they were all getting ready to do it. And then obviously this has gone from priority number 4 to priority number 1 for them, because they're going to have to operate at 50% capacity. So the only way for them to reach their members now is digital. So obviously very exciting for us. And you know, this is a huge opportunity. They had sort of an old school mentality, was going to cannibalize their business and all this stuff, even though the ones that were streaming realized it didn't. It just got the user more engaged, because maybe you want to take that every day, but you can't afford to, or you just simply can't get there. So the cool thing about what's happened now is that I think a lot more people tried it that would have waited a longer time to try it, and realize it's great. It's time efficient. It's a great experience. Obviously, nothing replaces the in-person, but I think that the studios have seen the light now, and the world has been forever changed. So this is certainly really exciting for us.
Is there a specific class that is most popular that people like to do, you know, and have streamed, or is it just a variety of them?
Just a variety, yeah. So I mean, I think some people take the classes at the gym. Most people still go to the regular gym where all the equipment is. They're not going to build a home gym. If you live in New York City, you're definitely not. So a lot of people are taking these classes at the gym, just having a better experience, or just searching up whatever they have. Obviously, yoga, bars, certain things are easy to do at home. A lot of the gyms now are actually, because they're closed, they're actually giving the equipment that's in the physical facility for the people to do at home. So like they had all the people take the spin bikes home to keep streaming and stuff like that. And we're going to see a lot of that as this situation continues on. So because they're just trying to figure out how to retain their members, and that's going to be one of the ways that they do it for sure.
Wow. How is that working? You know, now where they're, how does that even happen? How do they get?
they're trying to figure out how to keep charging people. So they have to figure out how to deliver value. And they also are trying to figure out how to stay connected. So they're basically letting people, take home that equipment, or selling new equipment for them to take home, or getting rid of the bikes that they had and getting new ones, because they need to stay connected. A lot of people, obviously, one, the classes are going to be half full. Two, some people are going to be fearful to go back until there's a vaccine. So the gyms are really having to scramble and iterate here. The gym is the sweatiest kind of place around. So we don't know exactly what the how people are going to go back. Obviously, the diehard people will, but I think that this will be, the gyms think that this will have forever changed the landscape. They think a lot of people are not going to go back because they really realize how convenient it is, and they like it too. So we'll see what happens for sure.
So it's a different kind of an experience. I mean, one of the things that we're showing on the screen right now is someone looks like someone's taking a boxing class, right? And
Yep.
taking that class at home in his apartment, it looks like, right? And so they're continuing to pay the fee to their gym, and then they're getting the content.
Yeah, and the classes are, so like, they're, if you reserve a spot, the instructor knows you're taking it. We just completed the integration of all wearables, so Fitbit, Garmin, Polar, Apple Watch, all that stuff syncs to the platform. So we'll have live leaderboards. And because of this current situation, we're expediting the Zoom feature, so you'll be able to see people if you want to be seen. And so anything to make it interactive, right? And so people, some people need that accountability to show their video because they're, not going to, do it otherwise. And so anything to keep the community connected and anything to make it interactive. So what we've seen too from our users is that they don't want to watch a class a second time. They're not, they don't, why would they, right? So I think the consumer's gotten a lot more savvy, and for these gyms now, they're creating great content every day. They have classes all day, every day. So they don't need to go to a studio and shoot workout videos. They create great content every day. So some of the gyms stream actual classes, like you saw in that video, where there's just regular people in it, which is always very fun to watch. And then also some of them will do more traditional fitness content. So just 3 trainers and kind of make a more, beginner sort of advanced, those type of workouts. But it's definitely fun to see real people. There's a real network effect to that. We have a feature when you check in, you could share it with a friend. So if Wayne went to a studio, he could share it with me. I'd probably think it was pretty fun to watch him take a yoga class. So the people are conduit to more people. And these are the super users. So we definitely, they want to be seen.
Well, we got to do that. We got to have a whole 76 Capital FORTE, workout.
That would be amazing. We got to get you guys in the studio so we can broadcast it.
Absolutely. We'd love it. Well, maybe, hopefully after COVID-19's over or things settle down, we'll do one of these shows in one of the studios with your cameras, with everything.
That would be amazing.
It would be great. Again, it's really great to have Lauren, the CEO of FORTE, on our 76 Capital Leadership Series tonight. It's Sunday night. It's a little after 7 now. And of course, that means that we have our 76 Capital Leadership Series, and we've got a great leader tonight. And Lauren, her story is incredible. Coming from growing up in New York, going to the University of Maryland, great athlete there, then Wall Street, and then comes up with this amazing idea of creating a next generation fitness company. And when I talk about next generation, we talk about all the things that you're able to do. And you said it earlier, this is a hardcore tech company.
Yep.
And so how did you do that? How did you learn, and who helped you with this? And talk a little bit about the overall FORTE team that you've been able to bring together at this point.
Yeah, I have a great team of engineers, obviously, that helped me build the technology. I think me being so naive was what sort of got us to here, because when we initially set out and I would tell them what I wanted to happen, they were like, "You're an idiot. That can't happen. You don't understand how this works." I was like, "Yeah, I don't understand how it works, but I know what I need, and this is what I need." And they were like, "You're not hearing what we're saying." And I was like, so me not knowing how things work was pushing the envelope to get them to keep going and coming back. I'm like, no, it can't be like that. These people, it has to just work like magic. These people are not technical, so it just needs to work. If I can do it, they can do it. But I was like, I can't need you to be intervening. It has to just work seamlessly. And I was like, we don't want producers, we don't want engineers. And so because I didn't understand things, I think that's how we got to building this sort of beautiful masterpiece, because I just kept pushing them to come back and to come back. And so, from a tech perspective, we I didn't know how it would work, but I was like, my phone takes a great video. I know we don't need to build a $5 million TV studio. I don't know how it's going to work, but I know that this is going to work. So that's really, I got this great team together. They all have obviously expertise in streaming and all that sort of stuff. And so we've really, the first installation, the funniest thing was the first installation was me hammering a camera on some studio's wall. I have no idea how to use a tool. I'm like hysterical laughing. I ended up calling my childhood best friend and telling him, and he's like, did you have insurance? I'm like, for what? He's like, you can't just stand on a ladder in somebody's business without insurance. I'm like, I didn't even know that was a problem. So I wasn't even worried about it. Like, then I realized I had all these problems. Like, how was I going to buy all this hardware at scale? And he came in, he actually had a high-tech alarm company. He was like, I'm sick of building alarms. I was like, oh, that's amazing. So he came in and solved all these problems that I didn't even know that I had yet. So that's why you build a company, right? In the beginning, you're so naive. Like, I didn't even know what I had to solve. I just was so focused on this one thing. So little by little, most of the people that came into the company were people that are part of my life for a long time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And just, also, what was it like? You said something and you probably didn't even realize it. You used the word seamless. And when I think of your business, I really think, it really brings me back almost 20 years to the beginning of Seamless Web.
Yep.
When, just like you said, I still can remember some of the first installations. I mean, we used to have to install computers as well as getting DSL lines into pizza shops
Yep.
to enable them to have internet, have a computer to be able to accept an order
Yep.
from somebody to, order a pizza or whatever they were getting. So it was the most amazing time to see that happen.
Yep.
What has it been like for you as you go into these gyms and for the first time? I mean, they're not technologists, right? They don't
know. You have to be real careful how much tech talk we do. I think to your point, like, we were actually early to the market initially. The last, nobody wanted to do live video. They just would shoot videos and that was fine. And I would be like, okay, we're going to hardwire we're going to put servers in your studios. They were like, servers? Like, what does that mean? Yeah. I'm like, don't worry, it's just going to work. That was certainly really scary. And I think we were definitely ahead of our time. I was laying in bed the other night thinking, like, I'm really grateful that I didn't listen to everybody's idea. Basically, every investor was like, you should just build a Peloton studio. I was like, well, Peloton built a great one. That's why I'm not going to do that. They have a beautiful, perfect content that cannot be competed with. And I didn't change what my vision was. And now today, everybody needs the technology that we have that's deployed into their studio. And so really felt certain about that. And yeah, I realized that I could have been easily persuaded to do other things, but I knew that I felt certain that this was going to happen, and that everybody kept telling me to do what had been done in the past. And I was like, no, it's got to be done different. The studios aren't ready for it. The investors weren't ready for it, like when we first set out. But I was like, no, I know that I don't know what the future is going to be, but I certainly know that you're just telling me to repeat the past, and that's what I felt so certain about. And so, yeah, really having to install this hardware, get them to do these tech surveys to upgrade their internet and all these things was out of their wheelhouse. But I knew that once that happened, and anyone that does that, then it just works like magic, and they're amazed. And the other ones are trying to figure it out. You need to have producers and all these other things. And so, yeah, I think it was definitely now they're with me. For the last couple of years, I had to be like, you want to be like Blockbuster? Because guess what? No Blockbusters exist anymore. You used to scare them. I was like, you don't want to be like Barnes and Noble, do you? And so I'd have to threaten them. Now everybody gets it. So that feels really good as a founder, that the market and everybody's finally with me, because I was a little ahead of my time for the first 18 months.
Well, I mean, but I think I'm sure even today, right? So here we are in the middle of May 2020, in the middle of this global pandemic, and everyone uses Zoom, so just use Zoom. What do you need FORTÄ for? Like, what? I don't understand. Why are people saying that to you, or now they're starting to realize what's happening? Yeah,
so I think at first Zoom seemed great. Everybody ran to it because it was there and it's easy to use. And then a couple weeks later, they're like, what am I doing on Zoom? Like, first of all, what am I doing all day on Zoom? But what am I doing on Zoom? Like, this isn't a fitness app. You're not building a digital product. You're not saving those videos. The quality is is what this is, right? It's not, it's not integrated into your AV system. And so I think, at first I was like, oh, wow, Zoom seems to have really solved the problem. They figured out how to put a paywall up, and it seems to have solved the problem. And very quickly, everybody was coming back and they were like, this isn't, they thought that it was a temporary thing. Like at first it was like, this will be a 2-week thing. And then now they're realizing not only is this a 2-week thing, this is going to be until there's a vaccine, which 18 months would be if we can do something in record time. And so now they're realizing this just is what it is. And we're not going to go back to the way we knew it. And they really need to have that product. And so we're very grateful that we don't have any competition at all whatsoever. So if you want to live stream, you can use those simple products, or you can build a TV studio. And then if you use Vimeo, which is a great, obviously big platform, or, it's like YouTube, it just hosts videos. It's not a fitness app. It doesn't integrate with heart rate monitors and have all the features that a fitness app is going to have. So our competition is things that exist that are not meant for this purpose, right? And we've been sitting here with this product that we've been building for years that is perfect for the taking now. So we're really excited that the market is this is the studio's number one priority, because the only way for them to make money. And all these booking companies, they made money by physical reservation. So they're all needing to rethink their business plans, and that rethinking is a big part of that is going to come from us. So we're really excited about that.
Well, Lauren, we certainly hope it does come from you and your whole team at FORTÄ. And that's why, we're super excited, our whole team at 76 Capital, to be an investor in your company and also have you tonight on our 76 Capital Leadership Series. I think what's really interesting when you think about the overall fitness market and how, maybe you could share with everybody just how big this market is, and that, this is what, like one of the things we say at 76 Capital is there's 3 things people like to do every day. They want to go play sports or work out. They want to take their child to make their child to either become the next, LeBron James or Serena Williams, or number 3, they want to watch a game. I don't know what else anyone else does, but that's what we think. Those are the 3 things that happen. And the first thing, obviously, is the working out piece. So how big is that market today? Yeah,
I think it's huge. I mean, most people, don't have access to, they don't have a gas station within 20 miles of their house. I live in New York City. It's a unique place, but most people don't have access to this great content, So this gives them the ability to have access to that. I think also we actually get inbound inquiry from kids' sports facilities, churches, like all stuff that's not fitness related, because everybody wants to be broadcasting, right? That's the world that we live in today. So this company can be a lot bigger than fitness if we decide to go there. Obviously, our focus is fitness. That's what we built it for. But the amount of interest we get I got an email from Pastor Brad. I was like talking to this with him. The inquiries are limitless. So I do think there's a lot of opportunity in general. But I think for us, obviously the easy target are the people that already work out, that already go to the gym. But in my little happy brain, my goal is to really get the other people working out. Most of America, they don't work out. 260 million people don't work out. We're in our own little space here. So I think streaming is really the great entry point for those people, right? I worked out my whole life, so it's easy. If somebody told me to go in an operating room and perform a surgery, I would be freaking out. But that's what it's like if you decide, you go to the doctor at 45 and they're like, you're going to die if you don't start working out. Your heart is in horrible shape. And so you're 45, you go to the gym, you're just looking at all the things and you have no idea what to do. Like, that's super intimidating. And so I think streaming is my goal is to be able to get those people to get confident to be able to work out. And I think the number one thing people say is, oh yeah, I'll work out, or I'll work out with you once I lose weight, or I'll join the gym once I lose weight. I'm like, no, the whole point in the gym is that. But that's how people that don't do it feel. And so I really hope that with streaming, that not only are we going to keep the people working out and having a better experience that already do, but getting the rest of the people to engage. I think obviously people now have a much heightened awareness of eating healthy, and all these things are becoming more and more the norm and, mainstream. And so hopefully that with streaming, we can make all these great classes more mainstream as well. There's so much stuff out there. You may not like running, but I mean, you could do anything. There's every type of work imaginable. So there's got to be something that you can find that you like. That's our goal.
Well, what's your favorite thing to do?
Oh, I like ones that are like so hard that the workouts I like are definitely the most extreme type of workouts. I like to relive the glory days one, and I definitely like to work out super, super hard. For me, it's like it's always been my therapy. Like, I can't fathom the idea of how people think it's like a chore. Like, I cannot wait to work out for that hour in the day, to just go run, or just, for me, I look at it as, like such a positive hours, moments of my life, whereas some people think of it as such a chore. So I hope, that we can make working out fun for most people. That's my goal.
That's amazing. I mean, so what are some of the things that you do? Like if you're in your hour, like talk about over the last week or so, what are some of the things that you've done?
Yeah. So normally, even if I'm just getting stale working, I'll like go do some push-ups or jump rope for 10 minutes. Right now, I've been actually so busy, busier than ever before. So my working out has been a little limited. Obviously, I'm streaming workouts every day because I have a company that does that and I do it anyway. And obviously we're here at home. I've been running and biking and stuff like that every day as well. And streaming just to be able to also understand what's going on in the market and, see what people are doing and really try to get a sense of what this new adaptation is. I've been sitting here at night, every night, thinking if I was going to build FORTE today, knowing what I know now, what would I have built, right? Like, so what had we built and what do we have to adapt for these new circumstances as well? And so trying to figure that out. And part of that experience for me is doing this and using these products and being a part of these classes. I feel like that's my kind of that's my edge in this market. All the CEOs that are my competitors, they literally don't use their own platforms. They don't go to those places. They don't use their own platforms. They're really great business people, but I feel like my secret weapon is that I am in the trenches. And so I like to take advantage of that and try everything and understand the market as well as I can.
Oh, that's super important. I mean, I think that's one of the things that, you find when, people that are it's got to be authentic, right? You got to really know what's happening. So one of the things, so if we're some of the listeners and viewers out there, if, first of all, if they're interested in your story and also wanting to be part of the future of FORTE, I understand that you're looking for some rock stars to join the team.
Sure. A++, yes, and super motivated, great players. Definitely. I'm a tough boss. That's what I've learned about myself. I expect a lot of people. I put a lot of pressure on myself to deliver, and I expect a lot of the people that I work with because I want to see you succeed for sure.
So what are some of the things that you're some of the different
roles,
job openings and things that you're looking for right now, and maybe we can help you tonight even, or we want to do that from the perspective at 76 Capital. I mean, that's what we do. Our whole business is to not only just invest in you and say good luck, but Chad and the rest of the team here, we want to help you be successful. So what are some of the things that we can do, or maybe there's some people that we could bring on to help you?
For sure. Yeah, we're definitely, if we don't have a role for you and you are absolutely amazing, we still want you because we will figure it out. If you are an A++ player, we'll take you no matter what. We're looking for engineers primarily because we're doing a lot more technical development and stacking up some heavy tech right now. So ASP.NET developers specifically. Next, we'll do mobile and TV app developers. So any engineers out there, any college kids looking to really kill themselves this summer, please reach out to me. Looking for certainly some hungry people. We don't typically need sales because thankfully we're the only guy that does what we do. So that's a great position to be in, that we don't need a traditional sales force. We'll need management for the studio. So anybody that knows the space well, a lot of companies have had layoffs in our competitors. So anybody that may have worked at something that was relatively similar, we would certainly love to talk to you as well. And then streaming engineers, so people that know the broadcasting space really well, stuff like that. And I think that's the gist of it.
That's great. That's great. I mean, look, I hope that we can, and you'll also be able to find those opportunities on your on the FORTE site as well as on 76 Capital as we put out those types of openings and opportunities. And if anybody needs to reach out to Lauren, you could reach out to me or directly to Lauren, and just please. I mean, it's really, this is such a great opportunity today to hear about a company. When you hear about the terrible unemployment and things that are happening out there today in the world because of this terrible pandemic that we're living through, to hear the excitement in your voice that you have for this business and the opportunity is incredible.
Yep. Yeah. So it's a weird position to be in, for a company to be thriving right now. Our competitors are laying off half the some of the big companies in the space are laying off half the people. So it's obviously it's a weird time to feel excited. At the same time, we're very grateful to be able to help all these businesses continue to earn revenue, people, to help people to continue to stay fit. So it's certainly super, super exciting. I definitely never in a million years thought that this would happen, and that the gyms would actually physically be closed, and that this would be the only means to working out. It's certainly, it's something I could have never fathomed, but we're very grateful for this, and we're going to run very, very, very fast to take advantage of the situation for sure.
Well, and I think this is really, not only, this is a unique situation, right? I mean, we made this investment into your company in the middle of this pandemic.
Yep.
But it wasn't the first time we met.
Nope.
So we maybe actually would be interesting to share just a little bit of, over the last few years, how we've gotten to know each other.
Yeah.
How we met each other.
Yeah, through the Maryland connection. So thank you, UMD, for that. I also pitched at your event in Philly, which was awesome, where I won a huge giant size check, which was amazing. And I brought it home, and I was like, I'm going to put this in my office, and I'm going to keep this framed. Little did I know that you would actually become an investor in the company. So that's pretty awesome. And definitely, I carried it home from Philly, which was, I was with my partner, so it was fine. We were like carrying it. And then all of a sudden, the last stretch of the way, I had to be by myself. And I'm in the subways in New York City with this giant lottery-sized check. Everybody's heckling me. They're like, did you just win the lottery? I'm like, I got to throw this thing. I was like, I don't think I can make it the rest of the way by myself with this check. But I did. So I'm pretty pumped that I have it up there. And obviously so excited that you guys are in a bigger, even bigger part of the story now, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it was great, and I think it's also something that I talk to entrepreneurs all the time about, that it's not just an overnight. You send one email and you're going to raise money, right? I mean, that's just not it. Sometimes it happens fast. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Sometimes it's just there just happens to be the right time. And I remember getting that email from you, I don't know, about 4 or 6 weeks ago. I don't even remember exactly what it was.
Yep.
And you sent an email to Chad and me in the middle of the night.
Yep.
And my normal get up in the middle of the night, look at my phone, and I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable what's happening here with Lauren now. And awesome. Chad emailed me. He gets up normally earlier before me. He emailed me, I emailed him, and I said, we got to talk to Lauren.
Yep. We launched our white label, and our revenue was quintupling before the virus. We started to launch this new business model, and that was really taking off before that. So now I feel like our story, the model looks so insane with the numbers now because of the situation, but the market we were already starting to really take off. Then this obviously just, compounded the success that, the quickness of the success that we're going to have. Right. So that was super exciting, but we were really on a great path before. And then this is now, is crazy. I could have never fathomed this happening.
Well, again, we're super excited to have you as part of the 76 Capital family and your whole team at FORTÄ. And one last question tonight I wanted to touch on our 76 Capital Leadership Series is really this to you. What are your, whether that's personal or the business, what are your big hopes and dreams with everything that you're doing now?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately to just help more people work out, to make it accessible, to make it affordable, to help the gyms build a bigger business that's less, that's not so reliant on a brick and mortar business, which is obviously now even more so than ever a risky business to be in. So they're not leveraged up to wazoo. Help them be able to have that technology to reach beyond, and ultimately, I think really just making people happier and healthier. I mean, there's like literally no negative side effects to working out. You'll feel better. Your body will be better. I mean, you're mentally going to feel better. There's literally no negative side effects. So really just trying to get as many people working out as possible and enjoy it as much as I always have. That's really deep down my ultimate goal. And obviously for these gyms, really helping them even more so now than ever reach their community and stay connected and be able to stay in business, because I think there's obviously going to be a lot of consolidation. So our goal is really to help these guys, so on the other side of this, everybody that we still love is going to be there as well.
Well, that's an amazing message, and I hope that we can help you, and we can be part of all this, and we're gonna do some really special things together.
For sure. And stay tuned. We have a really big announcement coming in a couple weeks. There's another big surprise coming, so that we're very excited about. That's a huge deal for us. So
yeah, I have notes here not to talk about it. So
yeah, I cannot wait to talk about it. I find my life where I have to be very patient, but we're almost there. So we'll have another big announcement that will really help massively with the scaling of the business opportunity as well.
Well, we're gonna have to bring you back onto the show to talk about that.
Thank you.
This show is all about really highlighting leaders like you who are doing the next thing in sports, and it's super awesome. I don't even know how it's not even if that's even a word to even. But it's super exciting to be part of this with you, and our whole 76 Capital family is excited about this. I want to thank James tonight for really helping, running the show behind the scenes, making things happen tonight. Also, again, Chad will be, sitting on your board, and we'll all be, there with you and as part of this whole journey, and we'll do anything to help you be successful. And I just want to mention one other thing. So as we said, we go live on our 76 Capital Leadership Series on Sunday nights at 7, as well as Wednesday nights at 7 as well. This Wednesday coming up, we have a special show. My partner, John Powell, will join the show with me, and we're going to hear about John. And, just like we heard tonight with Lauren, we're going to hear John's story and the things that John's done over his years, and being, one of the leaders in the real estate industry from the retail perspective, and building and operating some of the biggest malls in the country, as well as his family being in the business where they own a professional football team, and hearing about that side of the world. So that's really going to be exciting. And now what we're doing together at 76 Capital. And also, by the way, Lauren, we didn't talk about this at all, but, John's an Ultraman. I don't know if you know.
Wow, I like it. I was thinking about a push-up competition here. I like a little friendly challenge here.
Yeah, like Iron Man, that wasn't enough for John.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
Ultraman, right?
That's hardcore. that I haven't. That takes some serious training there. I like it though. I hope to be able to have enough time to be able to ride and train all day to get back in the competition den at some point again.
You'll hear John's story as actually how he not only he was able to do it and also run a major real estate firm at the same time, right? So how he got up so early, worked all day, and then even trained at night afterwards. So it's a great story. It's as you said, it's hardcore, and it's all about having that mindset that you need to be successful. So I'm really excited about that. And then also on that show on Wednesday, we're going to be making another special announcement, and we can't talk about that one yet either, but that's going to be exciting. That's going to happen this week. Something else that we did here at 76 Capital during this time. And we're excited because what we're doing and our team at 76 Capital is doing is we're moving things forward. We want to work with great people, want to move things forward, and that's what we've been able to do during this time. And then we're not going to have a show next Sunday because I can't believe we're saying this because it's Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe that, right?
No, I know. I keep thinking it's March. I'm like, oh my God, time is really flying by.
So we'll let everyone enjoy their Memorial Day weekend and come back the following Wednesday with a great show. But again, tonight, this was great, Lauren. I really appreciate you coming on our 76 Capital Leadership Series. We were live on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. It looks like we had a really great group of people watching it tonight. And even more importantly, this is going to live on for a while. And please watch it. Come back and check it out, because the things that Lauren talked about, her mindset, the way she leads, the way she has gone about building this amazing fitness tech entrepreneurial business called FORTÄ is a company to be reckoned with, and we're excited to be your partner.
We're coming.
All right, good stuff. Excited for the next exciting announcement, and we'll speak soon. So again, thanks everybody. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, guys.